Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of What If Sonic Died. This is a series where we explore how events of the main games could have changed should Sonic have taken Shadow the Hedgehog's place during the ending of SA2 and perished, forgetting his memories and adopting a new identity. Last time we witnessed the climax of the Sonic Heroes event, with the team members converging against the Egg Emperor on the final fortress, seemingly in victory as they now stand over the defeated machine. The Chaotix discovered a conflicting revelation in that Dr. Eggman was not the man they've all been chasing this whole time. Before we pick up where we left off though, if you've been enjoying this series so far and want to see more, please leave a like and a comment down below to let me know that you're enjoying what you've seen. And if you'd like to help me out, please share the video around to those who may be interested. But now, let's see just who is behind it all. Within a secret prison cell, the Chaotix have freed their client, revealed to be Dr. Eggman, and after an interrogation, they're trying to get to the bottom of this event. Vector has his arms crossed as he sternly confronts the scientist.
So, who was it that locked you in here, Dr. Eggman?
It was... Whilst this goes on, back outside under the effects of the storm in Final Fortress, the rest of the teammates are gathered around the destroyed Egg Emperor, with what appeared to be Dr. Eggman's body loosely flopped out on the floor in front of all the rubble. There is an eerie sensation in the lack of movement coming from Dr. Eggman, which is especially out of character in a moment such as this. Sonic prods the guy's body. So, are you going to spill the beans, Egghead, or what? At that moment, Robotnik's form descends into a silvery liquid, just like the decoys from before, but this time in full view of our heroes. Bafflement spreads across their faces as they realize this isn't the real deal.
What the? Another fake? Where are you hiding, Doctor?
As they all look around though, the liquid pulls around itself and rises into the form of a metallic hedgehog. In a flash, it strikes Shadow in the back, healing him over as it then grabs his head and throws him into the wall. Tails jumps to action. It's a trap! But the metal Sonic spin attacks into Tails, smashing him to the floor. He then darts towards Sonic the Hedgehog, but Omega jumps in the way, using his own body as a shield. The blue robot strikes hard and fast, smashing into one of his arms, dislodging it and tearing it apart from Omega's frame.
Whoa! Omega! Are you okay? You'll pay for that!
With another robotic chuckle though, the metal jumps up and lands onto a higher ledge, looking down upon them all as they get themselves back together.
Who is that?
That's Metal Sonic! At least I think it is.
All living things, kneel before your master!
Neo Metal Sonic raises a palm as the thunderous storm around him strikes down, the bolt of lightning fusing with his form. It sparkles and cackles with a brilliant blue spark until he flings both arms out wide, detonating the metallic surface he stands upon. As the shrapnel floats around him in the atmosphere, a whirling storm of blue energy concentrates where metal once was, bringing the destroyed pieces of this egg fleet spinning around and compacting within its glowing center, forming a new figure through the broken pieces. As the onlookers watch this transformation, Team Chaotix and Dr. Eggman arrive on the scene, equally in awe at the sight beholding them. Metal snaps as spikes shred through its new surface, as its giant, new transformed body lurches back, flailing its head into the sky, and bellows a roar of sheer power, echoing the very skies that thunder around them. The metal madness has emerged, and it pays no heed to those which once were worth his consideration. At the same time, the remaining hordes of Eggman's armies flee in genuine terror from this new metallic madness that lords over the remaining battleships.
Metal Sonic's transformed! What sort of twisted power trip have you been on this time? No, this wasn't down to me. Metal Sonic had advanced his own programming without my will, a sign of my genius, but he rebelled, imprisoned me. All of this was his doing, not mine.
A likely story.
For what it's worth, we've been on his trail. So far it adds up.
So what do we do now?
It's hopeless. He's combined your data with the power of chaos. Oh, if only we had the 7 Chaos Emeralds!
At this moment, Shadow brings out the green Chaos Emerald, but he's not alone. The other teams have been gathering the emeralds as they went along their adventures, much like how they did in the original Sonic Heroes. Eggman is pleasantly surprised but not calmed by the sight.
Even with the emerald's power, our chances for victory are still slim. It would take a miracle. I may not have a miracle, but I've got a promise to keep.
Shadow steps into the center of the gathering.
Lend me the Chaos Emeralds. I'll handle this. Confident as always, Shadow, but that won't do. Remember, he has your own data on top of the likes of Chaos. Alone, not even you stand a chance.
There's silence among the group whilst a Metal Madness thrashes behind them. Tails steps up. I'll help you.
You? What can you do?
I'm more capable than you may think. I can't let this guy endanger everyone. I must protect them.
Very well.
Sonic, feeling amped up with all the excitement, also walks in. I don't really know what this is all about, but count me in too.
I don't think so, Sonic. The last time you took part in something like this, you almost died.
He looks dejected, but Rouge puts a hand on his shoulder. It's true, Blue. I was there as well. That's why I will...
No, you won't. You're one of the last people I would trust with something like this. It looks like it's going to be me and Tails. We don't have much time to waste. Let's get moving.
The Chaotix all share a glance at one another, and then Vector walks in.
Not without me, you're not. The Chaotix never let down people in need. Ain't that right, boys?
Yeah, you do it, Vector. Shadow nods, and with the Chaos Emeralds gathered, he holds out his arms. The 7 glowing gems begin to rotate around him, Tails, and Vector with intense speed, basking them all in a brilliant golden flash of light as Shadow himself ascends into his super form and floats off the platform. Moments afterwards, Tails' body begins pulsing with a radiant glow, entering his own super form, and even Vector is bestowed the might of the Chaos power thanks to Shadow's mastery over it.
Embrace the chaos that flows through you. Whoa, groovy!
Vector floats off the ground, flailing his arms around a little bit, not used to the sensation of flying. Noticing this, the fox grabs Vector by the tail as he and Shadow fly towards Metal Madness. As the group watches them fly off, Sonic turns his head to Eggman. So, Doc? About my past.
Not now, Hedgehog!
Soaring through the thunderous sky towards Metal Madness, the 3 superpowered heroes prepare to do battle. Immediately, Metal Sonic fires large shards of frozen ice, powered by his reactor, straight towards their formation. Shadow manages to smash through them, whilst Tails flies around, Vector dangling in the fox's grip.
Whoa!
As they do so, Shadow will fling a few Chaos Spears towards Metal Madness, mostly just doing surface level damage. For now, they have to avoid his attacks as they figure out a weakness. But doing so grants him the opportunity to speak.
Long time no see, Tails. My adversary's sidekick.
Tails grits his teeth and focuses more on fighting off Metal Sonic.
Well, kid, you know this guy? It doesn't matter. He's just another robot. I am Metal Overlord, the real Sonic. I was created for the purpose of destroying him. But now, that Sonic ceases to be. A loathsome shell is all that remains. With his biodata, I am more Sonic than he will ever be.
Although stationary, his wing-like appendages flap with enough force to blow Vector out of Tails' grip.
Whoa!
He flails around in the sky until he bonks against one of the metal sheets flying in the atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
Lifting his head up, he blows some bubblegum and uses it like a hot air balloon, his super-powered aura filling it up more than usual, allowing him to control his flight a little bit more successfully.
This I'm used to.
Metal, still focused on his conversation, continues.
I see you were quick to replace him with the likes of another.
It's not like that.
No matter. Not even the ultimate life form can stop me. I'd watch your mouth if I were you.
Shadow charges forward, holding a Chaos Spear in his hand, and he slam dunks it into the face of Neo Metal Sonic. Or at least he would, but the red eyes glint towards Shadow before he gets close.
Chaos control!
Time stops. Using these brief seconds, the Metal Madness swats Shadow with the full force of his giant metal wing. And once time resumes, in an instant, his Chaos Spear dissolves and he sends tumbling back towards Tails and Vector.
I will be the metal ruler of a robot kingdom. And I will be the real, true Sonic. All of you will be forgotten, useless to me.
Heroes gather their strength together as they prepare their next assault.
He's got too much of our data.
If we combine our strengths, we'll be able to break through. I'll propel you guys so you can get close. You do the rest.
How would you propose to do that?
Just trust me. This isn't my first battle, you know.
Yeah, sure, kid. Whatever you say.
To himself, Vector thinks he's gotten himself into more than he can handle. Alright, here it goes! Tails picks Vector and Shadow and kicks them hard with a superpowered thunder shoot. They're propelled like homing shots around Metal Sonic's attacks as they collide into his surface. Vector latches onto the top of the metal skull and starts pounding away with his supercharged fists. Meanwhile, Shadow ends up near the chest of Metal Sonic, striking at its colourful core with his chaos powers. Each time they change to resist one of his attacks, he switches to a different style.
Nah, get away!
The Metal Madness flails his giant limbs around to strike them, but he can only do so much without also hitting himself. Thanks to the transformation, Vector's vocal cords carry a better note, and he screams his best music down into Metal Sonic's face.
Yeah, I'm the god Victor the Crocodile.
Metal's eyes twitch, losing their shape as his head reels with the bad static from Vector's voice. This lowers his guard long enough for Shadow to pummel through the center reactor of the new Metal Madness, exposing its core. He reaches his hand inside, Chaos Blast, and detonates, fire spilling out from his core. The tendrils of wires that latch Metal Madness onto the remains of the flagship snap off, as his body, arms flailing, begins to tip and fall to the effects of gravity.
No! Why? I had it all!
Tumbling and spiraling now, pillars of black smoke and red fire as the different pieces of the Metal Madness separate, fall off, and burn away. The giant metal wreckage plummets through the layer of stormy cloud, out of sight, towards the surface of the Earth. Their superpowers just expended, Shadow, Tails, and Vector crash land back onto the final fortress near the others, the Chaos Emeralds disbanding on their own, also travelling down to the surface. We did it! We stopped him!
Oh, I feel dizzy.
The rest of the heroes gather around. Well done, everyone. You guys were awesome!
That's one problem dealt with. But now...
Standing to his feet, Shadow points at Rouge.
Enough of your games. Stop toying with Sonic.
Oh, not this again. Look, Shadow, you're cool and all, but can't you respect that Rouge is helping me out? Tails gets up, indignation in his eyes. No, Sonic, that's not it. Don't you remember anything? I already told you. My memories are gone. I can't help it. But, Sonic, I've known you all my life. We've been through everything together. You've taught me everything I know. Don't you remember anything about me? Tails looks at Sonic earnestly, but no matter how hard he tries, as he peers into the fox's eyes, he only can draw up a blank. Tails slumps his arms down a bit. Ah, I see. But why are you traveling with Rouge? We were here to find Dr. Eggman so I could learn some of my memories off of him. Yes, I wasn't just stringing him along. Eggman does know more about his past than I do. But that's not the whole story, is it? I don't know what you're talking about. Well then, what are you gonna do now? Good question. This was kind of my first adventure, and my first set of memories. I suppose it would be fun to explore the world. I don't really know anything about it. I've been doing something similar myself. Well, if you come with me, maybe I can help you out with my lab to see if we can jog your memory back. And even if not, I'll tell you all about... I'll pass, kid. Whilst it was my original plan, sure. After everything I've just been through, I kind of don't see the point. Even if I'm told about my past, it's not like I'll actually remember it firsthand. I think I just want to move forward. Have a new start, I suppose, whether it was up to me or not. Rouge then puts a hand on Sonic's shoulder. Well, Blue, if you're looking for adventure, you could always come and stick around with me. I've got plenty of exciting things in store. Oh, okay, yeah, if you've got some adventures planned, I guess the gang could all stick together. It's been fun with you so far. How do you feel, Omega? My wish is your desire. However, my efficiency is depleted by 25%. He says, grasping his broken arm in his remaining one. Oh, don't worry about that. I know some people who can put you back together. Wonderful. Well, I guess that sorts me out. I'm good to go anytime. Let's get going now. Wouldn't want to overstay our welcome, would we? She says that with a sly grin over her shoulder towards Shadow and Tails. Ciao. And Team Dark speed away. The Chaotix are next to depart.
Well, they might not be looking for Eggman anymore, but we are. He's got our money.
Yeah, he didn't pay us.
That slime ball.
Charmy and Espio rush off in the direction they last saw the Doctor. Vector speaks one last word before he does.
It was, good to work with you guys.
And then he joins his team. Shadow and Tails are the only ones left. The Fox still looking a bit down after his interaction with Sonic. If it's any consolation, at least he still lives. Yeah, but I can't help but feel I've still lost him somehow.
Well, at least you can change it. You're not always so lucky.
Yeah, Tails strikes his fist into his palm. This is a better outcome than the one I thought I was living in. I'll just have to work extra hard to develop some way of bringing his memories back. Would have been easier if he stuck around, but I get the feeling that wouldn't have worked out.
I wish you good luck then, Tails. Contact me if you figure something out to restore his mind.
I will, and thanks for the help, Shadow. How should I contact... Before he's finished his sentence, Shadow had teleported away. Ha! Typical. And with that, the adventures of Sonic Heroes are at a close. Everyone has gone their separate ways, and the threat of Metal Sonic has been dealt with. So the conclusion has differed quite a bit from the original Sonic Heroes. Sure, at the end of the day, the evil robot was destroyed, but the circumstances in which it took place are remarkably different, and our characters are especially changed. This is only going to continue moving forward from this point on, however, so keep an eye open for the next part, where you're going to see some pretty large changes. But that is the end of this episode, so I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching all the way to the end. It really helps out the channel. If you enjoyed your time here, please leave a like, comment and subscribe down below, and don't forget to share the video around to those who may be interested. But with all that said and done, I hope you have a great day, and to see you next time. This is the Mighty Emperor, signing off.